Oh, y'all thought I was done, huh? Well, guess what?
There's a lot of things on my mind, yeah. Stacking money like this is fire. Stacking money like this is fire. Stacking money like this is fire.
Yeah. All right. How about some quick updates from the last time I've been on? All right. Since the last time I've been on, my son has made one officially. Shout outs to him, young Cap. I have sold one rental property, and I'm in the process of renovating another rental property to get it ready for rental again. Okay. Now, the reason why I sold my first rental property was because the real estate market was so hot. And quite frankly, I believe I bought that first property. I was a little overzealous in buying that property. So I was looking for a good opportunity to get out. And honestly, I was gonna wait about 5 years before I got out. But because the market was so hot, I decided now was a good time to get out. So I did. Now with that cash, I'm gonna reposition, re-strategize, and look for a different property to get myself invested in. I've been running around, I've been busy, everyone has been busy, but I'm here, had to make that time, because I'm doing it for the love, not for the likes, all right? If you guys notice in my videos, I don't ask you guys to join anything. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. I'm really coming from my heart, honestly. And it sounds corny, but I am, all right? I'm really reaching out. My goal in doing these videos is to educate, is to inspire, okay? So on that tip, I'm back to educate and inspire. We're not done yet, all right? Okay, now what I wanna talk about is something that many people don't talk about. And that's the downside, dare I say, or the pitfalls of having a wealth generation strategy. Because there are pitfalls. And people don't talk about the pitfalls as much. Everyone talks about how great it's gonna be, and everyone's popping champagne, everyone's in exotic cars, and that's not really how it goes anyway, right? But everyone wants to give you the gold and the glitter, and no one wants to tell you about, the struggles and some of the dark sides of going through a journey like this. So in this episode, not to bring the vibes down any, but in this episode, I want to talk about the pitfalls of being in a wealth generation strategy and what you should do to avoid some of those pitfalls or to be prepared for some of those pitfalls. All right, the first pitfall that you should be aware of, and it's probably very easy, is time or the lack thereof. Once you begin to get serious about your wealth generation, especially if you came from a background like mine where you didn't come from much, right? You're aggressively trying to build that wealth, you're aggressively trying to build that income, get assets. When you're on that journey, your time initially, and that's where I'm at right now in the journey, your time becomes very, very, very precious. Well, time is always precious, but even more so, right? Because you're focusing all your efforts on wealth generation. How do I get more income? How do I get more clients? What stocks I should invest in? What real estate strategies should I implement, right? And that takes a lot of time. Educating yourself, researching, working, grinding. It takes time. A lot of these videos, for instance, these videos the time I actually have to record these videos are typically, I don't know, 1 in the morning or something like that. That's that's the only time my house is quiet, right? I have 2 kids I gotta put down, right? I have a wife, I have a dog, right? Life is still going on. So I gotta wait till everyone gets settled, everyone is sleeping to do these videos, right? It's a time. And because of that, your social life is gonna take a hit, okay? Family's gonna get angry at you. My family can testify to that, right? Sometimes I just disappear. And it's not because I don't want to talk to my family, obviously. It's just that I'm really busy. So I have to remind myself what's important, right? We're doing all of this for time. But the irony is, in grinding to get that wealth, to get that time, it's gonna take time, all right? So that's the cycle. That's the pitfall. It's almost a paradox, if you will. So you have to stay above that. You gotta remember the main goal of it all. So time management becomes uber important. And I'm still balancing, I'm still juggling, to be honest. Some days are better than others, you know? But that time is very precious. That balance is very precious. And some things you're just gonna have to sacrifice, right? Some things you just can't do, right? So time. But remember, it should be temporary. Put the time in now so you can get the time later. This is another reason why, side note, I don't invest in options and Forex trading. I personally don't do that because it takes too much time. I don't have the time to do all that research and to look at commodities and investments that for that long. I just don't have the time, right? I have meetings with clients. I have meetings out as a remote CFO. I have other investments. I have real estate. I have a family. I don't have the time for it. That's why I don't do it. There's only so much time in a day, and you have to make the best of it, right? So be careful of that. Also, something else that happens as you make this shift, because you're making a mental shift. Remember I spoke about that. That's the first step, taking that mental shift, right? Making that decision in your mind that there's something better out there for me. Making that shift in your mind that there's nothing that I can't attain. Putting the number out there, speaking it into existence. All those actions causes a shift. And in that shift, there's a shift in your mindset, and there's a shift in who you spend your time with. Time again. You start to see things through more of a proprietary lens, if you will, right? You're not fully, capitalistic, if you will, right? But your mindset switches and things are more proprietary to you. And it can, in some cases, make you calloused. I give you a really good example, right? Right now, if there's someone in my life that just came into my life or were in my life in the past that has what I call a broke mentality, I will consciously minimize the time that I spend around that person. And for some, that could be a mean thing. That means there's some people that I used to be close with that I'm just not going to be close with today. You have to be prepared to make that decision, because that mindset, that broke mindset, is contagious. You don't want to be around that. You want to be around people that are positive thinking, people who are about taking action, people who are about making the best of the circumstances. As I made this journey, there's some people I got closer with as well. And some people might call that on the outside as getting rich and switch, right? That's not what it is, but if people want to think that way, right? Again, this is the whole callous thing, right? And the reason why I don't care is there's no money coming out of it. It doesn't increase my wealth. It doesn't do anything for me emotionally. It doesn't do anything for me financially. It doesn't do anything for me mentally. So I don't have enough real estate to care as much. I just don't, right? Pitfall, something you gotta think about, right? The other thing that's pretty weird that starts to happen is you're gonna have distractors, AKA haters, whatever, right? People who are very close to you, who don't believe in your dream, who think what you're doing doesn't make any sense, or it's crazy, or whatever it is, or you're just gonna have people who are, quite frankly, just jealous of you. It happens, right? Some people get upset when they see you pursuing a dream that you have, because it might be a dream that they have, and they refuse to pursue it. And that anger for themselves gets projected onto you. So it's gonna happen. And you have to be prepared for that. And you have to be prepared to let it roll off your back, because it doesn't do anything for you, okay? In fact, if there's someone in your life that's starting to express this type of behavior that's not positive, that's detrimental to you as a person, to you, to your spirit, to your mind, to your goals of wealth management, cut them off, man. Gotta cut them off. Like I said before, that's not something you want attached to you anyway, because that type of behavior is contagious. It'll pull you down, right? As you make this mind shift, you're attracting the things that you want. You're attracting the things that you desire. And naturally, as you attract, as the universe starts to connect things for you, as doors begin to open, as ideas begin to flow, as that attraction of certain items comes to you, very naturally, you're gonna repel certain things as well, things that are not in line with that goal. So the things that are starting to repel, don't fight it. It's natural. It's a part of the process. And sometimes it hurts, but it's a part of the process. So what am I saying here? You may lose some friends, right? You may not be as close to certain family members. It happens. This is not to say that money is more important than relationships with people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that your goals, your desires, the things that you are going to pursue that makes you happy, if the people in your lives love you, if the people in your lives care about you, they will embrace that. And if they don't support that, it's time to make a tough decision. Now, the last item I want to talk about is how your money is going to be dynamic. And what I mean by that, your money, your investments, your assets, they're alive, right? You want your money to be alive. So what that means is it's going to move around. It's going to go up and down, right? Real estate might go down. Equities might go down, but they come back up. What goes up must come down, and vice versa. But it's alive. More than likely, if you have money that is static, that's not necessarily a good thing, right? Because it's kind of dead. If I put money in a savings account, yes, it's very secure. It doesn't move much at all, but it also doesn't grow. It doesn't go low, it doesn't go high. It flatlines. In fact, it actually goes down a little because it doesn't keep the interest rates in the savings account doesn't keep up with the inflation rates. So you're actually losing money very slowly. So you have to be comfortable with seeing fluctuations in your net worth, seeing fluctuations in your equities, in your assets. Be comfortable with it. It happens. It's all natural. And if you've done your research prior to investing in those vehicles, you're going to be very comfortable when it goes down. All that means is if you have the assets or the cash, it's time to get some more. But there are going to be days where you're going to see 5,000 swings, $10,000 swings, $20,000 swings. What are you going to do when you see that? Are you going to panic? Are you going to sell? Are you going to start doubting all your decisions at that point? No. Right? You have to be steadfast in your decisions. You've done the research. Trust yourself. Trust your mind. It's going to be okay. Right? And so that's something you have to be prepared for. Seeing those swings. Now, if you're in some bad assets, some risky assets, ones that you don't have any type of conviction in, completely different story, right? But if you're in assets that you're comfortable in, assets that you know for sure are gonna do well, you've done your research. If things go down, it's time to get some more. All right? So, as we all are going on this journey together, as the whole goal of me starting this thing, I wanted to document the process prior to me hitting that 7-figure net worth. And I'm really, really close. I'm getting there. So as I'm documenting this process, I want to be as honest and as transparent as I can be and letting you guys know the feelings that I'm going through, the things that I'm going through, what am I experiencing personally, right? I want to share that because I want you guys to learn from it. I want you guys to avoid the pitfalls that I've fallen into. I want you guys to be prepared, right? Because I want you guys to win. It's the other thing too, right? Winners like winners. You're a winner. People that are constantly talking negative, constantly talking about the bad things that could happen, constantly shooting down dreams, just finding problems and not solutions, those people are losers. We just don't have time for losing.
It's 6 digits.